Shartimus, reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit, Shartimus, subscribe,
That's the flattest butt I've ever seen.
Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another third-party Transformer action figure review on the FansHobby MB06 Power Baser, aka not Powermaster Prime. If you're trying to pick this up, you can do so right now.
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And big thanks to FansHobby and Big Bad Toy Store for making this review possible and sending this out my way. I'm actually very excited to have this. I did want to get a regular retail Powermaster Prime. I'd only seen it once on the shelf, and that's when I was out in Georgia, and it was just too big to try to carry on the plane. So to have this product sample right here land on my lap like this, I feel very, very lucky. Thanks so much, FansHobby and BBTS. Now on the side right there, it says FansHobby. Now on the very back, you can see tons of product shots. Man, this looks very cool. We get a Not Apex right over there. It says FansHobby on this side as well. Beautiful product shot of the truck mode right there on the top, and then some more beautiful product shots on the bottom. I'm very excited, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. Man, here's the not Powermaster Prime or Ginrai or Power Baser. I tend to think of these people whenever I say Power Baser, right? Do you also? Any of them? No? But anyway, this is a fantastic looking piece. I really like this, and I have been having a lot of fun with it. There are gripes that I do have with it, but man, for the most part, I really like it a lot. I mean, he rolls very well in this truck mode. Very nice looking truck mode. I really like how the plastic is for this. Very strong, sturdy plastic. You can even see right over here we get a little bit more of a shimmer going on because the light is shining directly on it, more so than on this side right here. But as I bring the light in, I just like how it reflects a lot. We get some very nice matted plastic for the red over there. I mean, looking at this guy, it just looks sick, man. One little gripe is that I wish this port right over here with the trailer attached to the cab, I wish that was just a little bit stronger so you could pick it up and move it around a little bit better. But looking at the very front of this guy, we get some nice looking chrome or vac metal right over here in the very front, and I love that. We also get translucent windows right over there. Nice silver parts right here on the side for the rear view mirrors, and you can rotate this side to side. So I mentioned that, you know, it does detach fairly easy, a little bit easier than I'd like it to, but you can still get side-to-side motion. Gets a little bit hindered while you have the guns on the side right over there, but you can see that this panel right here does rotate, and it connects into these two rectangles right over here. So that's how that stays together. So it'll roll just fine, and you can turn them left and right a bit, so that's very cool. I like that. I like the back metal that we're getting for the smokestacks. I wish there was some kind of stand or something that we could use to get the trailer just, you know, standing up on its own without having to rely on maybe the guns. I think Ben's Collectibles do this where you put the guns down like that. I mean, still, that's not, going the other way is even worse. So, yeah, I wish, you know, there was a stand or something underneath there. Or you could use his face, because his face is underneath there, but, oh, man, that's messed up. Come on. Oh, face ShartimusPrime. Anyway, putting this aside and getting back to this one, I just want to, you know, cover the rest of the cab section right here because I really like these tires. We get some beautiful vac metal. Looks absolutely beautiful, and nice rubber tires over here as well. So I'm very pleased with that. And it looks nice, man. It's, you know, nice, stocky looking Optimus Prime. So not too bad. We do get some deco right over here. It says lad something. I don't know what that says. It doesn't look like it's actual words or anything, but you know, a little bit of deco right over there. And yeah, I think this is a pretty good looking cab piece. And then looking at the trailer, of course you saw those guns that we had on the sides, and he does not have his Autobot logo right here that you would normally see, of course, because this is a third-party figure. But I do like that we get a little bit of glisten in this gray plastic. So I think that's like a FansHobby logo or something right there. But yeah, looks pretty good, man. I'm pleased with this. Now when you're transforming this back into the trailer mode right here, you do really want to make sure that you have these two tabs that are underneath here tabbed into the side properly. It can be frustrating, but once you get that together, you know, you can see these wheels will roll just fine. You can see a little bit of a tension thing right over there. I did have a hard time doing that. So, but on the other side, it just looks perfectly fine. So looks pretty good. I like the sculpt of it. I like how the top of it looks right here. And you get these big old cannons on the very top. Here's looking at the back. It's a little bit gappy right over there. You know, I think there's actually some panels that I missed. Yep, that was an oopsie on my part. Those little pieces come up right over there, and then this all stays together very well, so they did fill in that gap. So I do like that. Very nice looking cab mode. When you look underneath, yeah, you can see the Powermaster Prime underneath there. That's ready to be formed. Now, we do get two different modes for the trailer. We get the Powermaster Prime part, and then we also get the base part. Now, the way they design this, and the way the instructions show you how to transform everything, is that you go straight to the Powermaster Prime, and then you can go into the Optimus Prime with the power base, right? But first, I wanted to measure this guy out, so measuring him from the very front of the cab to the end of the trailer, he's at about 16 inches across. Then measuring the height of this guy, I guess at the top of those black guns over there, he's at about 6 inches tall. And because this is supposed to be a Masterpiece Powermaster Prime, here it is next to the TRU exclusive Optimus Prime from the Masterpiece line. And man, they do look really good side by side. They're more or less about the same size. I mean, the trailer is obviously taller on the MP Prime over here, and you can see that the blue and red is much darker, but I do think that the red and blue on this is very similar to the Takara Masterpiece Prime. And then looking at them side by side over here, and you can see how the Masterpiece Prime kind of comes apart the same way that the Power Baser over here comes apart. So it's the same little nitpick problem that I have with moving both of these around. But yeah, as you can see them side by side over there, that looks pretty cool. I like that. Then here's Power Baser next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Now, before we get this guy in his combined mode, I'm going to remove the guns right here. So you can see we get two of these gray dual blasters, which look great. I like these. They also have this piece that swings down and rotates at the very bottom right here. So we'll get more of a look at that later on. And then we also get these two big black blasters right over there, not looking too bad either. They come apart right over here, and you can extend this out and then swing this down for his combined mode, so you can hold a gun or you could attach it to him. So I'm going to put all of these aside right here, and then we're going to take the cab section, move that aside, and I want to take a look at the little Apex figure, which looks great. I like this little guy. I love that we get the vac metal on his back right there, and he's swooping around and he's doing some kind of gymnastics, and you can take his legs off the arms right there. They port in very nicely with these holes, and you could rotate them down, and then here's the arms and then the head, and it's not a bad looking Apex figure. Can't remember what the Japanese name of this guy is, but I don't know. I'm familiar with him as Apex, and it looks pretty good. I do like it a lot. We get single jointed elbows in there, and then you can move the shoulders upwards. They rotate around and back, and then he also has hip joints that, oop, don't want to pop that off. Oh no, pops on pretty easily, but yeah, you can not really move the hips outward more than that, and he'll kick forward that far and back, then he bends at the knee. So pretty good articulation for this little figure. And you can see measuring him out, he's just over 2 inches tall. Oh, and I should mention that his head does rotate a little bit, but not a full 360, just left and right some. Alright, so let's get this guy into his combined mode where he takes away Bumblebee. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and detach these once again. We're gonna get this flipped up right over there. We got the triangle pieces on the side, and flip that in right here. It can be kind of tricky splitting this up from the top, but you do want to take these panels apart from right over here, and you just want to pick from underneath like that, and come on. Oh, there goes a nail. Yeah, be careful with these. You do want to split from right here. You can see it coming undone like so. Then swing this out at the side, and then we're going to flip this inward and create these panels on the sides of the legs. Or we could just push this down. At first, pushing these down was very difficult for me, so now it's all nice and easy, but man, it was really stiff, and I did like peel a nail back doing that. Ooh, the pain! But anyway, you can split the legs apart like so, and you can flip this down, and then we have this little guy. You can flip that down, swing this back, flip that guy down, and then flip this all the way back so it'll go into the foot, swing that in. And then we have the feet that we're going to form, so you want to pull this apart right here. It's going to shimmy out, and you can see the dual hinge, and then this will swing back, and then you want to get this level with the rest of the foot, and you're going to form a foot like that. And then same thing right over here. We're going to kind of lift this up and back. It's kind of a weird thing to do. It's a little tricky, but there it goes, and then move that down, and then swing this back and smoosh together so that we have a couple of feet. And then we have these pieces right here, these little buttons that allow, well, you don't need to press the button when you're pulling it down. It'll just slide down. But, you know, similar to the Masterpiece Prime, to put them back, there's a little button right there, and then you just gotta slide it up like so. So I like that it locks in nice and secure like. And then we have these pieces right here for the tires, and what we want to do is we want to get this whole piece upside down and over the tires. So it has 2 hinges, and you're gonna detach and swing outward and then get it over the tires. And again, this part is a little tricky. There's just not a whole lot of room to work with right there, but it does work. And then you're going to swing it around like so, and then push the tires down. Do the same thing to the other side. For some reason this side's just a little bit easier for me to work with. And swing that up, rotate 180, and then smush the tires down. They just slide right down like so. So it's not too bad. Get to the top portion of the figure. You just want to take these panels, spread them out like that. Ooh, that's what he said. And then take these pieces, spread those outward. This guy right here is going to flip up and move down. And then we have the arms in here, or actually you want to take this whole piece and you want to swing it backward like so. And then we have the arms right here. I'm going to swing them forward and then move them out of the way, and we want to pull these pieces forward so that we can get these arms down at the sides like that. And then we can move this forward, and this side right here has the little flap with the hand, and you move the hand out. Oh, get that repositioned so it tabs in nice and securely, and then get this hand out right over here and swing that around. I had that one churned in, but you don't have to do that. So now you can see that we have a big open space right over there for the cab to go into, which we do need to transform as well. So here we have the cab, and oh, I don't want to take this apart. It looks so compact. But anyway, I start right over here and lift these back, and then we have these panels, and we're going to move these back, and we're basically going to form a little box out of this guy, if you didn't look boxy enough already. And then we're going to take the arms and lift them up out of the way. So, oh yeah, we got to take this whole panel piece apart from right over here. So get this detached, which I had nice secure. There it goes. So you don't want to do it like that, but hey, it worked. And then we're gonna get the arms swinging out over here on the sides, and then this is all gonna swing down like so. And then just like the Powermaster Prime legs, these Optimus Prime legs will come down if you hit this little button, and it slides down, and then there's a little button right there. It's already pressed actually. And come on, slide down, and now it doesn't, oh, there it goes. All right, slid down, and then we're gonna fold this up, and then we're gonna rotate the waist 360, and we're gonna lift this up right here, and then we're gonna put these guys back in place and close this up. And then what we want to go, oh, we want to push these tires upward right over here, and those snap in. And then you can see that we get these tabs right in there, and we're going to try to get everything all ported together. And so I made an oopsie. One other thing that you need to do is get these tires recessed into the top of the cab. So taking these legs back out right here, and then I do have the tires lifted up, but there's 2 hinges. There's a hinge right here, which you can't see. Oh, there it is. And then there's another hinge deeper inside there. And you flip those up and flip that up, and then get that in there. And then you want to make sure that this piece is all the way forward, and that you have this guy facing downward, and get these red panels back up and into place right like so, and right like so. And this part is just always irritating no matter what, I guess. You know, it's just a little bit hard to get that into place for me. And then there that is, and you can hear it snap together. And then now we have him pretty much ready to go into the rest of the combine mode. And we're gonna go ahead and try to get this all ported into place. Slide this right down through the middle. So you can see my arms blocking the light. And then there that goes. It doesn't really snap in there, but it is resting where it should. And then this thin piece of plastic just goes right in between the feet, which I always have a hard time doing. It's just not an easy squeeze, but you can see that it goes in between there, and you just want to slide it on through. Again, it's always easier anyway, transforming these things while they're sitting in your lap as opposed to about a foot away from your face with your shoulders up in the air. Anyway, getting this right down there. This gap looks kind of weird, but you want to make sure that you can tab right in here onto the sides and tab that onto the side right there. Then we get these side flaps and those tab in, re-tab that, the head's ported on there, and then get these feet tilted back and down, and then make sure that we load them up with the weapons and add the Apex figure, and then we have Powermaster Prime all loaded up, both guns in his hands, and got the shoulder cannons over here, and man, he does look awesome. I really like how this guy came out. That is awesome as hell. Very pleased with it. Getting the transformation together, not, you know, the easiest thing in the world, but man, this guy looks really cool. So let's get a closer look. So we get a great looking head sculpt for this guy. I really like it a lot. I love those metallic eyes. That looks fantastic. Has a nice tealish colored blue to him. Very cool. If you see a tiny, tiny little dent, that's from me trying to switch the eyes out, and I'm going to swap the eyes in just a second. But yeah, I really love how this head sculpt came out for Prime over here. That looks awesome. Very pleased with that. Looking on the side of it, looks pretty good. And you can turn it all the way around. You can see the back of his head. Now he does have interchangeable eyes and a light up feature that I'm not going to demonstrate because, damn it, I don't have the right batteries for this. And not just to any third-party company, but to any company out there that's selling a figure that costs more than $100. I mean, you should really include the batteries yourselves, because I have all these other weird, you know, little button batteries around. This one didn't fit. This little one didn't fit. This one right over here didn't fit. And none of them got to work. But anyway, you get this little switch right over here. You turn the switch and his eyes will light up. If you want to swap the eyes out, you got to rip his face off right over here. Yep, karma. And then you can just go ahead and take out the eyes like so. They come out pretty easy, or they did come out pretty easy before, but now that I'm doing it on camera, it's going to be all hard. Okay, well, I dropped it and then the eyes came out right there. And he has these translucent blue eyes that we can put right in here. And let's see. And there that goes. Looks pretty good, and you can see the translucent blue. Actually put these eyes on upside down, so you want the little flap thing pointing downward. And then going ahead and putting this back onto his face, you're going to go to the front right there and put that on. Then when you put this on, you gotta get it around that ball peg, and then there you go, and he has the translucent blue eyes, which you can't really tell, you know, because they're not lit up or anything. I really wish I had the time to go get the battery, but, you know, with the baby and all, it's just kind of hard to do that extra stuff. Just, oh my god, I've been so busy, man, I can't even tell you. But anyway, looking on the front of this, I really dig it a lot. Big, boxy Powermaster Prime right over here. And then you can see on the side, we do get these little tabs that stick out that I thought were supposed to go into here, but they don't. You can see this one's kind of stripping, so I decided to stop messing with those. But I really like how the arms came out on this guy. Big beefy arms. Then he has some blue right there on the back of the hands, where I think if he had all blue hands, that would have looked a little bit better. I can't remember off the top of my head if the original Powermaster Prime had all blue hands or hands that were colored like that. I can't remember, and I don't have the Hasbro version at all. But here's looking at the waist piece right there. Got some nice lines, nice clean paint. I like how we get these rivets sculpted in the legs. I don't like how these tire pieces stick so far away from the legs. That's like one aesthetic that really does bother me, because it's sticking way out there. You know, and at least it does come down a little bit. Oops, and I'm missing a little tab. It's supposed to go in right there. Yeah, there it goes. I really like this whole piston thing right there. I think that looks very cool. I like that, and I like his big old feet also. I think that's pretty cool. Just a really nice, big, beefy looking Optimus Prime. It's freaking awesome. He's a bit front heavy, or back heavy anyway. I have to have him leaning forward, but yeah, he looks very clean on the back. I really don't mind him having a little bit of a backpack over here. I do like all the sculpted details that we're seeing right over there too. Very cool looking. I think he looks great. Now for articulation, you can move his head side to side, and he will look up a little bit and down some, and it's on a ball joint, so you do get a little bit of head tilting right here. His shoulders will move all the way outward. They can move forward. You can rotate a full 360. He does have a bicep swivel right in here, and I'm going to remove the gun. That just slides into the hand very easily. There's a nice port for that. But anyway, he has a bicep swivel, the double jointed elbows, which is great, and then he has a wrist swivel, and then he has an index finger that will move all on its own and bend in the middle of the index finger, and then the rest of his fingers all clamp down together. There's no thumb articulation and there's no hinge. He does have a waist joint right there, and he has these skirt pieces that move forward and they move outward. They're on ball joints, so they're very posable. I like that. His hip joints move all the way outward, and with everything moved forward, he can kick forward that much. I guess these are supposed to be scooted down just a little bit more so. I forgot to do that. Oopsie, sorry. But he's supposed to kick forward that much. Man, he's got big blocky legs and back quite a bit. Upper thigh cut, single jointed, well, it's actually a double jointed knee that bends in all the way like that. Wow, that's a lot of knee movement for such a big figure. Then his ankles do move down, and I'm only laughing because I'm just impressed by the amount of articulation. They won't really move up so much. They don't turn side to side, but he does have ankle pivot, which is awesome. When you're putting the ankle pivot back into just a straightforward place, you got to make sure that this piece right here gets tucked in right there underneath that cylinder. But man, that is awesome. And measuring this guy out, you can see that he is standing at about 13.5 inches tall, and oh great, look at this is the nugget show right over here. Yeah, she's crying. Hold on. And then for a size comparison, here's our Powermaster Prime or Power Baser next to the MP10 Optimus Prime, and yeah, you can see the size difference over there. Seeing these two side by side, yeah, that really earns the name Powermaster Prime or Power Baser. And then here's a Power Baser next to the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, and seeing these two side by side just reminds me of my mentality when I was a child, that I was always a little bummed out that the trailer to Optimus Prime didn't transform with the figure. So when I had gotten Ultra Magnus, I was really excited that I had a figure that did that, and later on when I had gotten the Powermaster Prime, I was stoked to have an Optimus Prime that did that. So I don't know, I'm just very excited to see these two right here side by side. I just love Transformers that have the trailer that also combines with the cab. That just looks awesome to me. And then comparing Power Baser next to another huge hunk of Transformer that doesn't quite transform, we have the 3A Generation 1 Ultra Magnus Think Geek exclusive. And then here's Power Baser once again next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Okay, so we have two more modes that we need to get this guy into. We have the robot mode, and we also have the base mode. So will you take us away, Bumblebee? Alright, so let's go ahead and remove these guns right over here. First off, take these off right over there. And we basically want to remove the whole cab section from the rest of the figure. I'm going to move these out of the way right over here. And untab right there. Untab these guys right here. And then lift the head up and try to swing this out of the way between the feet. And then go ahead and lift this whole section up right over here. I'm going to get the hands tucked in and tuck that. Come on, we got to get this flap open first, and then swing that in, and then close this up. Why is this not closed up? Oh, because I have to have this going this way, I think, and then it closes up a lot easier. And then closing that up as well. And I'm going to take this hinge and swing that up, and then move the head down. And the head's basically going to rest in place right there. And then we're going to re-tab these portions that we had tabbed in earlier and put that back. And then the arms are going to go straight up into the air and straight up into the air like so. And you can go ahead and move those in. And then we have the whole leg section right here. And we're going to basically try to get the legs back to looking like how they did in the truck mode. So we're going to go ahead and move this up and forward and push in, but it's not going to completely go the same exact way as it was before. And move that downward and then push that up and in. And then do the same thing on this side. Get the leg up and then go ahead and make sure that the piston's in there. And it's a little tricky to do, but get it all lined up. Alright, that one wasn't tabbed in all the way. Have to make sure that this leg portion with the piston is shifted up properly so you have the clearance to go ahead and put this whole leg back like there. We want to get these guys on the sides and slide them upward right here and move this out. And then we're going to get the legs moving outward and out like so that we have the knees bent. And then get that into place. And then do the same thing on this side. And then this will shift up as well. And then separate right over here. And then get these legs all the way out like that. And then these guys need to get lifted up so that it's sticking straight up right over there. Over the tires. Same thing on this side. You have those double hinges and get the tire pieces sticking straight up like that. And then get this out of the way. Get that out of the way. Okay, so I had to straighten the legs out and everything off screen again. Apologies, but you can see this is the configuration for the legs that you want. You actually want them sticking out a little bit away like so. That's how it's described in the directions anyway. And then you can see it kind of came apart and then you have to redo it. This doesn't really tab together like how I thought it would, man. I remember it tabbing together earlier when I had transformed this before, but it's not tabbing together right now at all. And that's a bit frustrating. So yeah, you can see that it just sits like so. And I feel like I still don't have that done right, but I want to add some of the weapons over here because I'm getting tired of looking at this just like that. You can see that you can just slide these barrels in. I showed that you could take them off and you go through this top piece and it just slides through this port right over here. So that's very cool. Then you extend that and you could port these on the top, and that is just way too floppy looking. You want to tuck that in and then port that in right there. So you can see how it looks with those guns, and it just looks a bit sloppy. But we could take these guys. What you want to do is you want to flip this down right here and then turn this horizontally, and we have a tab right there that it goes into. So you can do that and then do the same thing on this one and turn that sideways, and it tabs in right over there. That actually looks pretty neat. I'm pretty happy with the way that looks, aside from the really floppy guns at the top. That doesn't make me happy, and they don't stay in there very well either. But what you can do instead is actually port the gray guns right here at the very top, but getting these black guns right over here on the sides, I mean, they don't really have a place to go into or anything. Then these guys are supposed to be sticking up right over here. I did that wrong, but yeah, forgive me as it cuts back to them being back down again with the black guns up top. That's just, yeah, you can see that just comes apart. So that's a bit frustrating. I wish they had made circles or something that would go into these nicely, or made rectangle ports that matched this a little bit better, but yeah, it is what it is. But getting onto the robot mode for this guy, you want to remove Apex right over here, and then we're going to lift these pieces up, and we're going to swing the legs all the way back right there and move them down, and then flip this up. And then we have this panel that comes up right here. Move this back, flap that down, move that back, and flap that down. And then you have these little crotch pieces that you want to get out of that little tucked in section and swing these out and around. And then we can move the arms out of the way like so, and then swing this, and then swing this up, and then swing this and swing this up, and close that, and then move this to the side, and then we have the hands about ready to go, even though we want to turn it around this way. And then we're going to split this right over here, so we're going to move those arms back out of the way because we need to get his head out. That moves up, and then this folds down, and while this is open, you kind of want to push down that chrome piece because that's going to swing down, and this will go into place right here. And then want to make sure that these tires that are lifted up are still there. You're going to rotate the lower half 180 degrees, and then this has these two ratchet hinges that kind of bend down, and then there we have our robot mode for the Optimus Prime, and that looks pretty good, you know. It's not too bad. You know, these tabs right over here on the top of his legs don't really go into anything, but still, it's not a bad looking Optimus Prime. And we get a pretty good looking head sculpt. We get those metallic eyes once again. I do think the top portion of his head is just a little bit too big though, you know. I don't know, it just looks like he has an ultra-sized forehead a little bit, but for the most part, I do like it. I think it looks pretty good. I like that. And you get the windshields on the back as well as on the front right over there. We do get this gappy section, which I'm not a big fan of. I did try messing with these tires and reconfiguring them in different ways to try to fill that section up, and nothing seemed to work. I do like that we still get the vac metal in the front, and the arms look pretty good. We get some nice looking deco right there. The hands are pretty good as well. I do like how the legs came out too. I think this looks pretty good actually. I like that. We have the heels right there. We get those big red panels on the very back. And then, yeah, we get a little culito right over there for Optimus. And as far as his articulation goes, you can rotate his head side to side. You get a little bit of neck pivoting right over there. And you can make him look up just a little bit and not down so much. The shoulders can swivel all the way around 360. They can move outward. He also has, due to the transformation, an armpit joint that could swing forward. And then you also get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, and then the wrist moves side to side. And then he has the same hand articulation as before with the Powermaster version. He has that bend right there in the middle of the index finger, and it can move outward, and the rest of the fingers move outward on their own. He does have a waist swivel. Hips move all the way outward, so you can get him doing the splits, and he will kick forward. You get these crotch pieces that can move around, and he'll kick forward that much and back that much. Upper thigh cut, and the double, well, it's actually just a single jointed knee on this version. And then the ankle can move down, it will move up, and you also get ankle pivot. God, I have these cannons at the top over here, they're just so floppy. But anyway, measuring out this robot mode, you can see that he is standing at about 10 inches tall. And looking at the base mode, you can see it stands closer to 11 inches. And then looking at the Power Baser Optimus Prime next to the actual MP10 TRU Optimus Prime, you can see they actually stand at about the same height, which I love. I think that's very cool. Even though, of course, I do like this Optimus Prime more, but yeah, still a good Optimus. And then here he is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man, checking the time, waiting for this review to be over. And then there's the Power Baser Optimus Prime with the base, and I did add Apex in his robot mode over there. And man, I actually had fun playing with this figure. I did really like playing with these, but reviewing them is not fun. There is a difference between having fun playing with the figure and having fun reviewing it, and this was just not fun to review. Nothing was just really easily working for me while I was trying to get it done on camera. It is a third-party figure, and I think it's a very good third-party figure. I really like it a lot. It's just that, oh man, like this thing with the guns right over here, that's less annoying if you're just playing with it instead of trying to get it set up on camera and having things fall on you. I really think they could have just done better though. That's pretty annoying. I don't see why they couldn't have made the ports right over here match the guns, because you don't use these ports for anything else, so they could have made that a rectangular shape or make something match right over there. So that's a bit frustrating. There's some bits about the transformation that's not too fun to work with, you know what I'm saying? It's just a little bit more finicky than I'd like it to be, but the payoff for the Power Baser version, that is awesome, and I really like that a lot. And that's the main reason why I wanted a Powermaster Prime to begin with, is so I could have that giant Optimus, menacing Optimus Prime. So I'm very happy with that version. I hope you guys liked this review. If you did, please hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this figure set. Let me know what you think of the review. If you want to see more Shartimus Prime videos, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more Shartimus Prime videos coming your way, as well as hitting that notification bell. I gotta give a big thanks to all these people over here that support this YouTube channel. Your guys' help is very much appreciated. And I also gotta give a big thanks to Big Bad Toy Store and FansHobby for sending this out my way. Also, be sure to follow me on the Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Links to everything in the description below, and you can see a photo gallery over at ShartimusPrime.net. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I'm gonna play with my toys today. 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 Well, I don't care what the strangers say. I'm gonna play with my toys today.
That's crispy.
Hey, new Shartimus Prime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
We're shot in your face. I said we're shot in your